Hi, everybody. Welcome to Nurse Chats with Nurse Cheats. My name is Sarah, and as always, I'm super excited to be here. Brittany is kind of in the process of selling her house, so she's going to be absent for a little bit. But we have lots to cover today, and our first segment is going to be nursing news. And in the last week, and there's a lot going on, right? It is Nurses Week from May 6th to the 12th, and the 12th, of course, is Florence Nightingale's birthday. Florence Nightingale lived from 1820 to 1910, and she kind of formed modern nursing as we know it. She was responsible for a lot of things. She was a reformer, she was a statistician. She was kind of the first person to present nursing with statistics. So she studied a lot. So you could say she was like the first informatics nurse, right? She did a lot of studies to prove that certain things worked and certain things didn't. She provided stats to the men that run the hospital back then, and they believed her. She became very well known in her day. Originally, it was observed on October 11th through 16th in 1954, but they discontinued it until New Jersey Governor Brandon Byrne declared May 6th as Nurses Day. And so everybody has kind of followed through on that, and here we are. And it has a rich history. Nurses talk about Nurses Week a lot because sometimes the appreciation isn't there. And I've seen it myself. I've seen it, I've seen great examples of Nurses Week. This year they're doing this whole laying on the hands blessing, which, come on, I don't know. I just feel like it's a little foofy for medicine. Feels like a very religious thing to me. So obviously I'm not participating in it, but I don't know, I can't participate in the blessing of the hands. My hands are tired, and nor do I want to go to work for a couple hours just to get my hands blessed. So I can't with the blessing. But it is a big deal this year. Apparently everybody is doing this, and I don't understand the allure, because really, we're not supposed to be doing stuff like that, but whatever. So, like I said, today is National Nurses Week, and we have discounts everywhere, right? Some of the big ones. Lululemon's 15% off. Adidas is 30% off. Tula Skincare 25% off. Brooklyn Bedding 30% off. Ring 20% off. Crocs 25% off. I might actually have to check that out. We also have restaurant discounts. Chipotle. First 1 million people, 50 free burrito voucher codes. Grimaldi's Pizza, 15% off orders. HelloFresh, 55% off, and 15% off of all other boxes for the rest of the year. Insomnia Cookies, free 6-pack of cookies to celebrate National Nurses Week. Lion's Choice, May 6th to May 12th, 20% off. McAllister's Deli, 32-ounce tea. Outback Steakhouse, 10% off. Potbelly is receive a free cookie or drink. Adidas, like I said, 30% off. Asics, 40% off. Crocs, 25% off. There is a giveaway of 10,000 pairs of Crocs for healthcare heroes across the country. Lululemon, 15% off. Nike, 10% off. Rothy's, 20% off. Under Armour, 20% off. Beauty and wellness discounts. Brooklyn Bedding, 30% off. Elf Cosmetics, 25% off with a spend of $30. Grande Cosmetics, 15% off. Ring is 20% off. Stanley, 20% off. Everybody is big on the Stanley Cups right now. Tula, 25% off. And Willow is 20% off, which is a breast pump. So those are all the discounts that I have so far. I know Bear Lodge, the Great Bear Lodge, had a deal going on, as well as Las Vegas had a couple deals on their hotels. So definitely check out the savings. And a couple of things in the news. So the New York Times, again, publishing stats on, healthcare, which is kind of distressing. Emergency room visits have risen sharply for young people in mental distress. Again, not a surprise. I see it all the time, and it has definitely gotten worse. And I feel like the psychosis has gotten worse as well. I feel like people are much more violent now than they were. So definitely seeing changes in the ER. I think we have to at some point decide what an ER is, because we're either a primary care physician or we are an emergency room, and I think it's a huge issue right now. People just go to the ER because it's convenient, but that's not really what it's for. So it's one of those things, and we need to kind of straighten healthcare out. I don't know if that means like having a fast track clinic inside the ER, that people can work in the fast track clinic, or have, some other kind of thing, urgent care attached to the hospital. And I think Tower was trying to do that, right? Tower has all these urgent cares around here, and I think that they were trying to kind of have that model, but it's definitely moving that way. I mean, we need something, because the people that are not truly sick are taking up beds, and it is causing massive delays, and it's causing burnout and all kinds of things. So I don't know. We have to stick with it and just kind of keep trying to find a solution. Also, CBS News came out with an article written by Erica Edwards on May 8th that said younger nurses are feeling the strain of nursing shortage. They're burnt out. If they're burnt out, we just have no hope, because they're the generation that's supposed to be taking over nursing, and they're leaving nursing at an alarming rate. There's been drops in survey responses that remained over 80% for since the 80s, and now it's dropping. 42% of Gen Zers said that they would recommend pursuing nursing as a career. That's compared with 62% of baby boomers, right? So it is definitely a crisis. I know it doesn't feel like a crisis, and I know there are those that say, there isn't a nursing shortage. Trust me, it's real. It is very real, and I don't know what we're going to do about it, but it is very real. Most nurses are dissatisfied. Not shocked by that, because I see that every week. I know that there is a massive push to standardize staffing ratios, and I understand the arguments against the staffing ratios. However, we have to put some kind of limit on it. I mean, you can't persecute nurses and then, not staff them. It's literally like this merry-go-round right now. So, we're getting criminalized for nursing mistakes that are caused by short staffing. So it's not really the nurse's fault that we cannot manage to keep up with the workload. Where I work is exceptionally different, but I'm talking in general. This is a huge issue. So, we have to change things. And it doesn't feel like people are going to help with that at this moment. So we need to figure out a way to address these concerns and this shortage that is going on, right? The shortage is very real. The mental health thing is very real. I see it in the ER all the time. We have a massive amount of young people, massive amount of mental health issues, massive amount of just general psychosis, massive amount of anger and violence. It is just, it's unreal. It's kind of crazy. I just don't get it. So we have to figure something out. If you're going to persecute me for making medical mistakes, that's fine. But then you have to pay me more for medical malpractice insurance, because I need to be protected. And the nurses are the ones who staff the hospital. So it's just this crazy merry-go-round. And I don't feel, and I'm not saying anything against the providers either, because you have one provider for an entire hospital at night. That's insane. That is insane. Like, it just is. And, the PAs and the hospitalists and the doctors, we are all doing what we can right now to survive. And it's literally a survival of the fittest at this point. And I feel like this is going to go on until something breaks. And the dam is going to break. Eventually, we are either going to be in full-on strike mode, and every nurse in the country is going to walk out. Because let me tell you, if nurses walk out of the bedside, it is not going to be a pretty scene in the United States. And that happened in the UK massively. So let's learn from that and try to fix some of this stuff now before we get to that point. On a good note, there was a local nurse that was nominated by Independence Blue Cross for exceptional service, and she's a Paoli nurse. She was nominated for exceptional work. Her name is Christina Milligan, who works at CHOP Primary Care in Paoli. She is a nurse for over a decade working with children and teenagers suffering from depression, anxiety, and eating disorders. So, kudos to that. The eating disorder thing always gets to me in the ER because I know the outcome. She provides a lot of mental health. She's also amazing at explaining things. She really works with her patients. And that's good to see. I mean, I'm happy to see a local nurse honored for her service, and they do stuff like that at Paoli, as well. They really try to point out people, but otherwise, that's pretty much it for the news this week. I know it's not a lot like last week, but Florida, there was nothing going on in Florida this week, so I think the news is kind of slow there. Anyway, that's it for nursing news. Tune in next week for nursing news, and I'll be back.